have a super fun collaboration to share with you today. My friend Christine and I, Christine from Christine Sews a Lot, decided that we wanted to remake the Patina Blouse by Friday Pattern Company and perfect the fit of it, more specifically, the fit around the bust area. We both knew that we would need to do FBAs. Now, I've been wanting to try the Nancy Zieman method, pivot and slide, on an indie pattern to see if it would work. And Christine just went through a fitting class, so she wanted to try the slash and spread method, or the traditional method of doing an FBA. So we decided to film the process independently and at the end decide which method is best. And that is what today's video is all about. After watching my video here, make sure you go and watch Christine's and see how she made out with the slash and spread method. Now, if you're new around here, my name is Izzy, and this channel is all about sewing, garments, bags, and quilts. All right, so like I said, I've been wanting to remake the Patina Blouse because I've made it a few times already. I've made it 3 times now. 2 versions, or actually only 1 version, still survives in my closet. The very first one I made, the fit was just awful, so it didn't survive. I donated it. The second one, I wore a ton. Unfortunately, the fabric started fraying really badly around the collar, and it really no longer looked polished enough to wear to work and things, so I've had to let that one go. But I had one more in my closet, a short-sleeved one, so I wanted to remake it and really see if I could make it fit me almost perfectly, because you know, around here we are never after perfection, but we try to get as close as we can to it. All right, so the first thing I want to go into is the pattern itself, just in case you aren't familiar with the Patina Blouse by Friday Pattern Company. Now, as the name says, it is a blouse. It is a relaxed fit blouse. It's more of a informal type of blouse. It's got a full button front. It's got this really fun collar. It doesn't have a collar stand. You can make it with long sleeves or short sleeves, and the sleeves are a little bit gathered at the shoulders. My gosh, what else is there to say? It's got a straight hem at the bottom. It is a super easy make. It's really not hard at all. Would be the perfect first button-up blouse for somebody who's just getting into garments. You may have a few garments under your belt and now wanted to, you know, elevate your skills a little bit. This would be the perfect blouse to go with. Now, I decided this time around, because you do have the option of a regular V-neck and the lower V-neck, I decided to go with the lower this time. I always made the standard one up until now, and I have to say, I don't see a huge difference. It's definitely not indecent. I can definitely wear this blouse to work. So yeah, if you do get the pattern, or if you decide to make it, you can judge based on, you'll see my previous version, which is the higher one, and then this one, which is the lower one, and decide for yourself which one you want to make. Now, sizing wise, the Patina Blouse is available in the full Friday Pattern Company range, which goes from an extra small to a 7XL. If I remember, I don't have the exact measurements with me, but I'm pretty sure it goes up to about a 55 to 60 inch bust and hip. And it is designed though for a B cup, which I am definitely not. I am an F cup. And although my other versions fit me because there's quite a bit of ease, there are telltale signs that point to me needing an FBA. So, and that's one thing I've learned since I started sewing for myself and trying to fit my garments a little bit better. Some patterns will say, we designed for a B cup, but there's so much ease. Don't worry too much. As long as your bust circumference fits into the pattern, you should be fine. However, that's not always true, because if your bust projects to the front a lot, so you're not particularly wide and the extra room you need is really only in the front, it doesn't matter how much ease there is, it's not always gonna look okay. It's gonna fit around you, but it may not be the best look. Anyways, you know what I mean. So before I made changes to my paper pattern, because I had it printed, the first versions I made a size extra, extra large, and the only adjustment I made to my previous versions were a narrow shoulder adjustment, because after making my first version, the shoulders were really falling off of my shoulders. Did not love that look. So I did a 1/2 inch narrow shoulder adjustment on all my versions afterwards. So, but it's the only adjustment I ever made. So before we start talking about this final versions which I have made, I'm going to insert a clip here with me wearing my previous version and talking you through what details I wanted to fix, or what pointed towards me needing a full bust adjustment. Hi. All right, so I am wearing the only version of the patina I have left. I had another one, so I made another one before making this one, but the fabric is falling apart, so I'm not wearing it. It's in a bin for the garbage, basically, because I can't even donate it. Anywho, so this is the one I am currently wearing, and I'm taking this video to basically show you why I decided I needed to remake it. So this is a size XXL. Yeah, size XXL. And the only adjustment I made to the basic pattern was a 1/2 inch narrow shoulder adjustment. So the shoulders fit me really well now. And that's it. So there's like enough ease. It fits around my body, but you can see drag lines from the bust and a little bit of pulling right here, like just a touch, really. So this tells me my cup size is not large enough. Now, the patina is designed for a B cup, so the fact that I need more is not really a surprise, is it? I'm an F cup. By the way, I hope the washing machine is not too loud, but I had a window of opportunity to film. I had to jump on it. Lengthwise, I think it's fine. The length is good. You know, it does pull up in the front. Another hint that I need more room in the front, in the bust area. The darts are good. So the darts end right here. So they are short. They're in the right place lengthwise, but they're short. So I'd like them at least 1 inch longer. But besides that, that's it. So this is my XXL with the 1/2 inch narrow shoulder adjustment and no other change made to the pattern. Now I am going to reprint the pattern in a size XL this time, which should fit my shoulders. And then I'm going to use Nancy Zieman's pivot and slide method to increase the bust and give me a little bit more room at the bust and the hips. So yeah, let's get that done. One thing I forgot to mention in that clip is that, And I don't know if you even noticed it, but there's also a lot of extra fabric at the armpit, and the arm side isn't sitting perfectly against my body. That's another sign that you may need a full bust adjustment. If when you raise your arm, the entire shirt comes up because there isn't enough ease here, or there are lots of folds here, meaning the size you picked is too big and all you needed is just more room for your bust. Those are all signs that you may need an FBA. So I knew I wanted to try out the Nancy Zieman method, like I said at the very beginning. So what I did is I reprinted my pattern. This time I printed a size extra large and then used the pivot and slide method to add more width to the bust area and to the hips. I didn't think I needed any at the waist because it's pretty relaxed there. I also, although I say in the clip that the darts are well positioned, when I relaxed my arms and make them fall to the side, I think the darts were a little bit high. So I lowered the darts on my final version by just a little bit, and I also lengthened them. Now I'll show you the full blouse in a second. I think I lengthened the darts a little bit too much. I'm gonna have to shorten them again. But anyways, yeah. Also, the shoulder is almost on my shoulder, but not quite. So although I don't need a full 1/2 inch narrow shoulder adjustment, I think I have two choices here. If I want to make this again one day, I could either do a 1/4 inch narrow shoulder adjustment or go down another size and pivot and slide and add more width than I did for this one. Now, I think the easiest thing to do would probably just to do a narrow shoulder adjustment and remove about a 1/4 inch off each shoulder, and that would be, yeah, that would work out just fine. All right, now I'm gonna go get my pattern pieces because I wanna show you quickly what the adjustments were. All right, so using the Nancy Zieman method, like the best part about that method is that you don't actually cut into your pattern pieces at all. You add to them. You pivot and slide or slide up or down. You never cut into your original pattern piece. Now, if you're somebody who despises tracing patterns, that's really good news for you because there's no need to trace your pattern pieces before you make any adjustments. You do need to trace parts of it, but not the whole thing, and you keep the original pattern piece intact. So you keep all of the information on your original pattern piece. No need to create whole new ones. So what the Nancy Zieman method does basically is you slide out to add width. Now, I also added length to my bust dart, so basically making them wider. And I added like 1 inch all the way. Now, because I made my darts larger by 2 inches, I ended up adding 1 inch at the top of the original dart and 1 inch below it, adding 2 inches. I also added 2 inches to the hem because obviously when this dart is sewn shut, I'm losing 2 inches here, so I had to add them at the hem. And that's basically all I did, except for, you'll see, this is my new dart my new dart was this one here. And the original dart on the pattern was very, very short, this one here. I lowered it, as you can see, and I made it longer over here. Now, I've remarked it in red now after trying this on because, like I told you, it's a little bit too long now. But this one, when I make this blouse again, this red dart is the one I'm going to trace. And that's basically all the adjustments I made to my front pattern piece. And on the back pattern piece is basically the exact same thing. I pivoted again on the side seam, added my 1 inch all the way down. I did not add the 2 inches to the hem, obviously, because there's no dart on the back, so I didn't need to do that. But I did make a note for myself to add 1 inch here. So at the hip, I find it's a tiny bit snug. Like it's got less ease than I would like because it catches on my bum. Now, when I show you, you might think, Izzy, that means you need a sway back adjustment. I don't have a sway back, but the blouse catches on the back on my bum. So I think if I add a little bit more room on the back pattern piece, it should fit much better. In the front, you'll see I'm fine. It's really just in the back that I would need it. So those are the only adjustments I did. I sewed up the blouse in this gorgeous viscose twill. So this is a raspberry pink viscose twill from Beyond the Pink Door. It is so, so pretty. It feels amazing on. It was just a pleasure to sew with. Yeah, and I don't think she still has this because I bought this quite a while ago now, but I love viscose twill. Love, love, love. All right, so let me get up and show you my new blouse. I'm also going to insert some pictures so you get the full thing. But here it is. So if I stand properly, you can see that there are no more drag lines. So that's the first thing. I did say the shoulders were a little bit wide, and I will fix that next time. You've got the beautiful V and the collar. The bust dart is right here, so perfect level. It does end a little too close to my apex. Like I said, I'm going to shorten it next time. Beautiful sleeves with a tiny bit of puff up here and width at the bottom, which I love. The length is perfect. And if I go like this, you can see there's absolutely no pulling or lifting at the front. So the fit at the bust is really good. Now, if I go here, like there is enough ease. I mean, but yeah, it catches, which really annoys me. Now, the best part about this blouse, or this pattern, is that although it has buttons all the way down, there's enough ease and the V-neck is low enough that I can just pull it over my head. Therefore, although I have sewn buttons on here, there are no buttonholes. Because viscose twill, and that's something to keep in mind if you ever decide to get some, is very sensitive to runs or pulls when you sew with it. Even though I was using a Microtex needle and I was being super, super careful, I did get a few little pulls in my fabric, and I knew that if I tried to make buttonholes, I would get a ton of them. So obviously, here are the buttons. I used the Pigeon Wishes button that we got in our advent calendar from Beyond the Pink Door last year, or the year before. I've used them all now. They're all gone. You can't really tell that there's no buttonhole here. I did the exact same thing at the cuff. No buttonholes. I can get my hand in and out without a problem. Yeah, it's just a super, super nice blouse. I'm wearing it today with my burgundy Parker Ponte pants, and it looks okay. I mean, I don't love the untucked thing, but if I wear this with like my black work trousers, for example, I can tuck it in, and I think it's going to look fabulous. So after making the pattern adjustments and then making this new version of the Patina blouse, I can confidently say that Nancy Zieman's pivot and slide method does work for indie patterns. The trick is to pick your pattern size based on your high bust. So the traditional way of picking your size with Nancy Zieman is you measure from crease at the armhole to crease in front here. So basically measuring this distance here. And then if you're 14 inches in big 4, you would pick a size 14. And for each inch, is it inch or half inch? For each half inch of distance here, you go up a size or down a size. So I have 15 inches here. So in commercial big 4 patterns, my base size is a size 18. But for indie patterns, the way it worked with the Patina Blouse, I measured my high bust and picked the bust size based on my high bust measurement, and that gave me an extra large in Friday Pattern Company sizing. So I think it would work probably for all indie patterns. As long as you're able to measure your high bust properly, then just go on the size chart at the bust line and pick your base size based on your high bust, and then pivot to give yourself more room in the bust, waist, and hips, or hips, and then adjust the cup size. If you're anything bigger than a B and they design for a B, you need to add 1/2 inch of width to your dart for each cup size that you need to go up. So in my case, I'm an F cup. The Patina is designed for a B cup, so that's C, D, E, F. So that's 4 cup sizes, 1/2 inch each. 2 inches I needed to add, and you divide that in 2 and add 1/2 above and 1/2 below the dart. Anyways, hopefully that made sense. For more info or more details and to watch me fix or adjust a pattern using the Nancy Zieman method, I'm gonna link to one of the videos I put out on the channel just a few weeks ago, where I demo basically everything I did to the pattern. All right, so this is now definitely my preferred way of doing a full bust adjustment. Is it the best way? Probably not. I'm sure that Christine got along just fine using the slash and spread method, and make sure you go and check out her video to see that. I think it's up to personal preference. It's up to whichever method works for you and your brain and the way you like to work. So I am not a tracer. I really don't love it. So the thought of not having to cut into a pattern to adjust it is really, really great for me. But I know that Christine doesn't mind tracing, so the slash and spread method is probably best for her. Now, if you have to adjust your patterns for a full bust adjustment, which methods have you tried and which one do you prefer? If you've only tried once, let me know which one and let me know how it worked out for you. I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching today. And if you feel like spending even more time with me, YouTube thinks you would enjoy this video right here. Thanks again, and I will see you soon.